Strapped in tight, ready, V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toast to champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, visor fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near. Strapped in tight, ready, V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toast to champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near.
Woo! Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rumble here this evening. As you see these drivers out on the racetrack right now, it is qualifying here for the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as each and every driver looking to try to set themselves up here for a good day at the Speedway. Underwood already celebrating a little bit out there on the racetrack, currently qualified in that 5th position. We do see Mr. Grant Applegate out there on the racetrack as well. There's that 57 ride ready to rumble here this evening in that Red Bull ride. Josh Crider out there, as well as the Toxic Crider number 5 ride ready to rumble here this evening, as DJC Simtography coming in says yes. He says yes sir, let's go Dylan, let's get him my boy. He says I'm fast as fuck boy, yes sir. He's currently in that pole position for Mr. Dylan Carrier, so he's allowed to say it, Chad. He's allowed to say it right now. He's absolutely locked in and ready to rumble here today, as we do see the 115 ride. That is Kyle Shepard out there on the racetrack, so the tier 1 machine ready to go to battle here this evening. Rolls out there onto the racetrack, getting ready to get his qualifying underway. We do see Cody Cash out there in the Lowe's Pro Camry out there on the Speedway as well. That 48 ride ready to rumble, ready to go to battle here in this one, as right now a little bit slower out there on the racetrack, really not taking full advantage of this first lap out there, just kind of on cruise control. I'm not sure if he just wants to qualify at the back of the pack. Nonetheless, he's still got to get a lap in. We do see Kyle Shepard. Looks like he's going to start his lap, but for all those drivers that were still out there on the racetrack, like Kyle and Cody, both drivers not out soon enough, and they will not be able to qualify there. So that is a heartbreaker for them, as Dylan says, sub 42nd time by myself is crazy. It is crazy. That's a great lap out there. Great lap, great time there for that number 88 machine here, and we're going to get ready to rock and roll. It's La Flame Blanca. Okay, that's is that the French Flame Blanca? I don't know. Is that French? Is that French? But says laugh out loud, Cody. Yeah, unfortunately there for Cody, did not get his qualifying lap time in, and unfortunately for a few of these other drivers, did not get times in either. They will start at the back of the pack. That includes Caden Gargiulo, Justin Bradley, Cody Cash, and Kyle Shepard. So they will start there at the back of the pack here this evening, as we'll get them all locked and loaded, ready to rumble here. Now, we didn't get a Lonnie Crider video here for today, so unfortunately we don't have our opening command from Lonnie Crider, but Crider, I know he's always watching, always cheering these drivers on, and I'm sure Lonnie is going to be pumped up to watch these guys here in this one. Says Kenny Powers, it's from Kenny Powers. Let's go, we love Kenny Powers, baby. That's a Eastbound and Down, such a hilarious TV show, man. I love that show. As Nathan B says, have a fun broadcast. Hey, I'm not out there again, as this is my favorite track. Oh, brother, you're missing out, Nathan. You're missing out, my boy. You gotta be there. Oh, looks like we do got the Lonnie Crider video. Josh just did not send it, and
well, thank
great
you.
time. Here we go. So we do have Lonnie Crider's video. See if we can get this popped up here and into the stream for us. So let's take this over here. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our opening command from Lonnie Crider.
Thank you very much. All I can tell you is the last 2 weeks has really been crazy. So, gentlemen, I don't have too much to say. Let's start those engines and let's go racing.
Alrighty,
well,
you heard it there
much.
from Mr. Lonnie Crider. I don't know what's going on with the double hat, Lonnie, but I love it. I love it. Listen, if the sun's coming from the east and the west, I think this is the hat to have. And if it's coming from, like, north to south, like if it's, like, a bit behind you for a while or a bit in front of you, you can flip it around. That way you can still look cool, but also keep the sun out of your eyes. I definitely like it. Definitely like the style right there from Mr. Crider. But nonetheless, we're going to get ready to get to battle. We're going to get ready to duke it out here in this one, as each and every one of these drivers ready to rumble here today. They're ready to go to battle. They're ready to duke it out. This is going to be a ton of fun. It's 100 laps of racing action. Here is Bubba. What's good, Bubba? Bubba says, let's go. Let's go, Bubba. How are you, mister? Coming in, showing the love. It's Jimmy 6 times. All good, brother. All good. Brian Carrier says, let's go. 88 as the 88 ride will start in that pole position. Jordan Hand to his outside. Applegate and Ryan Rose there in fourth. Then we see Mr. Brian Underwood, Landon Burbage, Melvin Brangor, Aiden Lucas, Jonathan Gaston, and Josh Crider rounding out our top 10. Austin Farnham, William Connolly, Ryan Haller, Wyatt Mickelson, Noah Blackwell, Benjamin Romano, Farrell Robbins, Danny White, Matthew Skurlak, Ben Gleason, Scott Heinriches, Caden Gargiulo, Justin Bradley, Kyle Shepard, and Cody Cash bringing up the rear of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation, as we are quickly green flag racing here in this one, as we are going to battle. These drivers are duking it out here this evening, as the 88 ride quickest in qualifying and looking to try to run away here on the opening lap. But this is another reason why we love Auto Club Speedway. 3-4 wide racing down the back straightaway into corner number 3 for the first time here this evening. There's a lot of room, there's a lot of lanes, there's a lot of ways to navigate your way around the racetrack, and as of right now, it's Dylan Carrier out in front, and he will lead lap number 1 here this evening. So Carrier out in front, Jordan Hand there in second, getting a great shove on the high side from the 78 ride, as that's Ryan Rose pushing him quickly up towards the front there, as the Brett's Electric ride, Brett's Electric here this evening on that 78 ride, trying to help push that 24 ride up to the point here, as we do see a lot of these drivers, and it looks like potentially our first caution flag of the day. Yes, there it is. So second lap, caution flag here this evening, as it looks like potential issues for The 95 ride here. Let's take a look at it as 95 down low. Sends it into the corner. Oh, they're already wrecking before that big one here at Auto Club Speedway. There was a ton of drivers that got tied up here in this one. Looks like kind of starts with Benjamin Romano here. Let's take a look at it. 3 wide headed down into corner number 1. Looks like, I don't know if the 9 gets loose right there, if the 72 gets into him. Looks like the 72 is probably going to get into him or maybe even just contact here. Look at that 5 wide. Deeper in the field. This is outside the top 10, almost towards our top 15, and they are 5 wide racing here at Auto Club Speedway, man. That is absolutely amazing. That's the scenes that we like to see, and unfortunately for Romano, he's got the run. He's driving to the outside. That is Aiden Lucas. The 72 ride is Jonathan Gaston. Then we see Haller in there. The 79 of Danny White. And it just looks like kind of run out of room. And right there, you see that little bit of contact. So everyone just kind of running out of room into the corner. 15 gets into the 9. The 9 kind of comes down the racetrack. And as he does come down the track, I mean, the 72 also kind of coming up, just ever so slightly. Nonetheless, they don't really make the corner. Actually, looks more like the 9 coming down. And unfortunately, across the nose here of Jonathan Gaston, and then both drivers get up into the outside fence. Pretty heavy contact. See how the 9 ride kind of bounces off the 72 right down the racetrack into the 66 ride. Then it shoots the 95 of Matt Skurlak up and in to the outside fence. He bounces off the wall back into the 66. Ben Gleason kind of just getting bounced around right there. And unfortunately for a lot of these drivers, a ton of carnage, a ton of early damage here. Let's see if we can jump on board with this 95 ride. He's going to get a great look at it. He's going to see this 5 wide and the contact here as they head down into corner number 1. There's the contact between the 15 and the 9, and there's the 9 and the 72. Then he gets clipped and right up the track, and man, nothing you can do except for just hang on and hope that you can get through that. And unfortunately, could not get through it very much. And at the same point in time, as these drivers were headed down into corner number 1, we saw the 14 ride here of Justin Bradley. Bradley was coming down pit road. He already had some pretty good right side damage on this 14 ride. This is kind of a lucky break for him, as that's probably going to keep him on the lead lap or pretty close to it here. Actually looks like he is going to be now the first car 1 lap down, as Aiden Lucas, last car on the lead lap. Justin Bradley going to need another potential caution flag here to get himself back on a lead lap. Jonathan Gaston still down pit road. Looks like he may be down there for an extended period of time, as Dylan Carrier will get ready for another restart here as the NJBDesigns.com, the number 88 there, the Dylan Jacob Carrier Simtography here, the DJC Simtography ride gets ready to rumble, gets ready to go to battle out there on the racetrack. Is Bubba? What's good, Bubba? Bubba says, snacking on some smoked trip tip and watching some racing. Tri-tip. There we go. Okay, yeah. I was going to say, what the f is that trip tip? Okay, tri-tip. Okay, all right. I can get on board with that. That's something good to snack on, brother. Listen, I wish I could sink my teeth into a big old piece of meat right now. That'd be pretty tasty, man. A little bit of smoked meats right now. Woo! That hit the spot, my boy. That would hit the spot. So here we go. We're going to get ready to go back to battle. We're going to get ready to duke it out again here in this one. As, Pratt, I did get your message. I just haven't looked at it, man. I'm super busy, so obviously in the middle of a race right now, and I'm not on my phone 99% of the time, so I'll check it out after the broadcast, and I'll get back to you. More than likely, if it's a Thursday, brother, I'm going to be a no. I don't think I'm off Thursday again until, like, the beginning of September for my other Thursday series, and they start at, like, what is that, 8 Central Time, 9 Eastern. So, unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be able to get that in, but nonetheless, we'll see what I can do. I'll check the schedule and see what I can figure out. As Anna says, have fun tonight, guys. Says, let's go. Landon cheering on Landon here this evening. As LaFlame says, Cody likes starting from the rear. Oh, baby, there it is. There it is. We knew someone was going to say it. Someone was going to get there. Oh, that is a tough break right there, brother. That is a tough one. Tough one for him. But here we go. Getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing as the official iRacing pace truck will make its way back down pit side. And we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here this evening as Dylan Carrier Jordan Hand 1 and 2, and it does look like Carrier's going to elect to go with that outside lane as Crider already up 6 positions here. Starting in that 10th spot, he's up inside the top 4 now. So Josh Crider early on making some big moves in that 5 ride. We'll see if he can continue on that trend. As a big run down to the inside, that's Melvin Brangruer. Brangruer getting a great launch right there in a big jump down to the inside lane, and he's going to go virtually from about that 7th position almost up into 2nd as they're 3 wide, 4 wide, down and up of corner number 2. That's exactly what Dylan Carrier wants to see. He wants to see them go 2, 3, 4, 5 wide, back there behind him, battling for that 2nd position and allowing him to try to run away with this one. As Carrier out in front looking to try to lead the way here, wanting to be that reflection of perfection as Josh Crider up and into position number 2 here. Crider has been a man on a mission, now up 8 positions, started back in 10th, now up and into 2nd here. He is on the move to the front as Brian Underwood right there behind him in position number 3. Ryan Rose trying to hold on the 4th as Melvin Brangruer rolls there in that 5th position. Landon Burbage trying to hold on to 6th. You do see that 24 ride, the Optic Gaming Machine. Sliding back here, Jordan Hand on that restart. Start on the inside of the front row in position number 2. He now finds himself back in position number 8 after watching the EFF ride of Connolly get around him, and now potentially the 18 of Noah Blackwell also going to take another spot from him here. So these drivers starting to fall back, some moving forward. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out, as here comes one of those JBR rides. That is Austin Farnham in that 119 ride, trying to work his way inside the top 10 and through the top 10 here. Same with the 79 of Danny White. We see Wyatt Mickelson right there, as well as Mickelson trying to get around that 24 ride, as well as all these drivers still jostling around, still 3 wide out there on the racetrack. Still a lot of different strategy to be played out, and I think for a lot of these drivers it's going to come down to probably fuel mileage and potentially tire wear. For a lot of these drivers, the tire wear and the tire conservation is going to be a key to success here this evening. You want to make sure you keep yourself out of trouble. You got to make sure you keep these tires underneath of you out there on the speedway, and that may be something that's maybe lacking for some of these drivers. Some of these drivers may struggle with that a little bit more, especially early in these runs. You can look fast with those fresh tires. You can lay down some really good lap times, but if you're going too hard at it too early and you run into issues and you start sliding the tires around, you start chewing them up or heating them up a little quicker than the cars back behind you, you may be a sitting duck out there on the racetrack. So you got to be very, very cautious about what you're doing here and how much tire you're burning there on the speedway. As even Dylan Carrier, you can take a look at our race leader. The last couple times around here, he's been slower than the drivers back behind him, and now you do see Josh Crider able to get a great run here. Crider down to the inside. This is the first time we're seeing a car try to make a pass here on our race leader, but there's contact right there behind him. That may have been the saving grace for Dylan Carrier, as look out, here comes the 78 of Ryan Rose. And now the 6th ride. Here comes Underwood. Here comes Connolly, as that bit of contact down and out of corner number 2, getting that 5 ride sideways on the racetrack. Obviously, we saw Melvin Brangruer get out of the throttle there, trying not to spin that 5 ride around. Unfortunately, though, it kills so much speed and momentum there for those 2 drivers that they all of a sudden fall back here. You see Brangruer, who is trying to jump up into 2nd. He's now back in position number 8. For Josh Crider, he's trying to hold on to 4th here, but he's got a lot of fast gas right down to his inside, trying to make the move back around him here as the Toxic Crider ride. That was definitely a dude wipes moment of the night right there, almost going around right in front of the entire crowd, as Dylan Carrier, though, out in front. He's a man on a mission. He's looking to try to pick up stage win number 1 on the evening. And stage number 1 going to come to a close here on lap number 20. So lap 20 and lap 45 are our stage breaks here this evening. And now for a lot of these drivers, they should have no problems making it to the end of the stage. I don't think fuel will become an issue. They should be able to make it there, that 20 lap distance, and it's going to come down to tires. And who's going to have the best tires on their race car after quite a few laps. And now we see more contact. Look out, caution flag on the racetrack. Yellow flag back out on the speedway, as heavy hit there for Wyatt Mickelson. Heavy hit for the 19 ride of Melvin Brangruer as they get tied together. And the caution flag will come out here again at a corner number 2. Let's take a look at it, as there are 3 wide here, down through 1 and 2. And Not sure if Brangru just gets up the track right here. Maybe gets it a little too far. And, yeah, there he goes. He kind of goes up the track. And then as he kind of moves up, it kind of scares him here because he's all of a sudden got the 2 ride there. And him and the 51 just get timed together right there. I'm not sure if Mickelson comes up as well. Mickelson probably comes up expecting to follow the 19 right up towards the outside fence. Obviously 3 wide, and they just kind of run out of room right there, and unfortunately they just get tied together. 19 goes across the nose here of that 51 right away at Mickelson, and both drivers get drove down the racetrack. And kind of see how this back straightaway is built, where it's kind of got these little jut outs in the backstretch here where they can get campers or anything else or emergency vehicles out there on the racetrack. And unfortunately those little bit of cutouts right there that you see them hit right there, they just make you hit at such a weird angle. It can create so much more carnage and damage onto your race car than just maybe pancaking the inside safer barrier. But man, that was a big hit, not only for the 19 but also for the 51 right away at Mickelson, and for both those drivers. They're going to be headed down pit side, looking to get some pretty good repairs onto their rides. Looks like a quick repair already being, not being used yet for the 19. So no quick repair there for Melvin Brengruer as of yet. He may want to go down pit side and try to use that up. Here comes the 51 right away at Mickelson as well. So both these drivers, look at the 19 ride. Just crab walking back there. Both cars really are not pointed in the right direction at all. They're both crab walking quite a bit. And you see that 19 ride. That car looks like it's trying to do like a skateboard trick or something. It's got the trucks out of gear there. It's out of whack. It's going the wrong direction there with that back end. So he's just trying to crouch walk this thing all the way back to the pit road here and trying to get this thing repaired, and hopefully gets into his pit stall right there. There it is. He does get that quick repair used, and it's great to have. It's great to use it if you need it, but if you have to use it too early in this race, you get tied up in another big wreck. That could take you out of contention in a quick hurry here this evening. So for each and every one of these drivers, you just got to try to make sure you keep yourself out of trouble and keep yourself rolling, as we're going to see another restart here. And we're itching down to the end of stage number 1. Stage number 1 going to come to the close here at the completion of lap number 20. So the completion of lap 20 is about 6 laps away. We should see the one to go this time by the start-finish line. So for these drivers, they know that they have to, basically have a 5-run battle here to end this stage. Binding another caution flag or something else that may take us to the end of this race with the yellow flag, or to the end of the stage with the yellow. They know that it's game on. It's game on. They can make it on field. They got to just hope they got more tires than the car in front of them or around them, and that they can get the right speed, the right runs, and take the open lanes when they need to move forward and try to get some extra bonus points here early on in the season, knowing that every single point could count, whether or not you won last race or not. You want to be putting yourself into a position to potentially try to earn some extra points, and especially for the 88 ride. Dylan Carrier, after winning last week's race, he's already locked into the playoffs, but every single stage win is an extra playoff point for the stage winner. Plus, he can get some more points to help him out towards maybe winning the regular season championship, which is more playoff points, which could help drive him right on through and into our championship for finale. So we'll have to wait and see what Dylan Carrier is going to do, and if he's going to be able to hold these guys on for the next 5 laps to try to win this stage. As it's going to get fun here in a quick hurry, man. This is going to get a lot of fun out there on the Speedway, as these drivers going to get ready to duke it out. They're going to get ready to battle hard. We're going to see more 3, 4, 5 wide out there on the racetrack, and we've seen how that's went so far. Sometimes it's really fun, it's really cool, but other times it can get pretty chaotic, and we can see quite a bit of chaos being created when that happens. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. And for the 88 ride, again, taking the outside lane, we saw how it worked for him last time. It worked really good for the 88 machine, but the driver back behind him, that 5 rider Josh Crider, got an extremely good restart as well, and then eventually almost took that race lead away from the 88. So for Dylan Carrier is going to have to be very cautious about what he's going to do here on this restart. He does get a solid restart, but the 78 times it perfectly here. Ryan Rose right down to the inside here. Timed that one absolutely perfectly. Door to door down across the line, and now the 78 looking to take that race lead away. So the Brett's Electric number 78 ride down low looking to take the race lead away from the Carrier Motorsports ride of Dylan Carrier, but Carrier out in front as they're scrubbing down the back straightaway again. You see that 6 ride getting moved around, but it does take Dylan Carrier to the race lead here. The 78 sends it in deep down low in corner number 3. Carrier is looking to carry that speed and momentum down and out of corner number 4. Looks like he will clear that 78 ride again, trying to break a little bit of a draft there, trying to keep that 78 off his back bumper, and he's able to lead another lap here, and we inch closer to the end of stage number 1. As it is getting dirty out there on the racetrack, everyone pushing, everyone trying to slide into every opening that they can find, every spot that they can gain out there on the racetrack. And we do see this 119 ride of Austin Farnham. Farnham's working his way up and through the traffic, and there's contact. Around goes Haller, around goes Applegate. There's the caution flag. Caution flag back out on the racetrack. Applegate goes for a couple loop-de-loops, as we'll take a look here and see what happens again, as there's contact back here behind. Just a little bit here. I'm not sure what happens, but we see Applegate here in the 57 ride. Not sure if he gets a bump from the 2 machine. Gets a solid run right here in the middle. Gets down to the inside of the 2, and then not sure if he just moves down or no. Looks like Haller maybe moves up. Yeah, right there. Haller may have just moved up ever so slightly. Haller moves up ever so slightly right here, hoping that maybe they weren't 3 wide or just didn't see the 57. Nonetheless, travels up. You watch that car. He goes over the black line right there. At the same time, 57 right's kind of doing the same thing. So, I'm not sure how much he moved up, but it definitely does look like he moves up ever so slightly into Applegate's left rear right there. That kind of just gets him bent out of shape. He's trying to collect it, trying to save it. Unfortunately, the car just snaps around, comes back down the racetrack, ends up hitting the 77 right there. And this is a scary sight for Ryan Haller. This is the spot you never want to see as you're sliding around right back into oncoming traffic. Luckily enough for him and Applegate, both drivers able to quickly collect their cars, get them rolling again, and keep themselves from collecting anyone else or getting any more damage or carnage out there on the speedway, and that will set everyone up here for green flag pit stop, or not green flag pit stops, but caution flag pit stops here. As here comes Dylan Carrier, here comes Ryan Rose, the rest of our field all coming down pit side, as I do believe they will use lap number 17 as our stage break here. I do believe they're going to call that as the stage right there. As one yawn, Peacemaker, laugh out loud. That's 1 shot. That's 2. Oh, baby, come on now. Come on now. Don't be calling me out like that, Anna. Come on now. Don't be calling me out. Okay, they're just little yawns, okay? They're just little yawns. Nothing we can do about that. As we do see Austin Farnham, he does elect to stay out here. Or did he miss his pit stall? I believe he misses his pit stall right here. So this is a big mistake for the 119 right, Austin Farnham, as he's coming down pit road with everybody else. They all come down pit road. They all make the hard left-hand turn into their pit stall. And I'm not sure what happens, but for some reason, 119 just misses his stall. Cannot get down into his pit stall. Just rolls to the end of pit lane and gets rolling again there. So that's a big mistake for him, unless if he just planned on it and wanted to set himself up here for maybe a late race restart. As does look like Benjamin Romano, who stayed out on the racetrack here, he will now be our race leader. Austin Farnham will be in position number 2. Ryan Rose, Dylan Carrier back there in 4th. William Connolly, Brian Underwood, Josh Crider, Jordan Hand, Noah Blackwell, Aiden Lucas, our top 10 out there on the speedways. Here we go. We do see the 119 ride this time going to elect to make his way down pit lane here, and now he will get fuel and tires and everything else that he may desire for that Chevrolet. That's just a big mistake, and he's going to lose a ton of track position out there on the speedways. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. We'll get ready to stack him up here once again, but it is Ryan Rose who was able to beat Dylan Carrier out of pit lane here. So Carrier back in position number 3 here for this restart. As the line right of Mr. Benjamin Romano out in front has the race lead, looking to try to open up a little bit of a gap here, maybe himself, maybe try to put himself into a, you need some milk, Peacemaker. I need some milk. Does milk keep you awake? I don't know if milk will keep me awake or if that would put me to sleep. Probably put me to sleep. I feel like I would be out like a light after a glass of milk, that is for certain. Alrighty, well, here we go. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing as Benjamin Romano scored as our race leader. Ryan Rose in second. Connolly back there in position number 4 with that DJC Cinematography 88. Right, Dylan Carrier on the inside. He's in that 3rd position. Brian Underwood, Josh Crider back there in row number 3. Then we see Jordan Hand and Noah Blackwell there in row 4. Aiden Lucas and Danny White rounding out our top 10 as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. See if Connolly can give a big shove here, if that outside lane can get another good restart, or if Ryan Rose can get another good jump here as well. We've seen Rose be very good on that last restart, able to stay door-to-door with Dylan Carrier, and he does another really good job right there. Doesn't beat the race leader down to the line, able to get a good launch, though enough to stay door-to-door with him and actually lead us down into corner number 1. So Ryan Rose able to time those restarts perfectly, and that may be a big, big thing here this evening. Ice cold milk, she says. Some ice cold milk. Maybe one of these days we'll have to try that. Maybe we'll try that one of these days. The only time I drink milk is like when I'm done eating my cereal. That's the only time I drink milk. That's the only time. Other than that, I never drink milk. Put it in like craft dinner and other foods when I'm making it, but it's never like I'm actually pouring a glass of milk. I haven't had a glass of milk in forever. As here we go, Ryan Rose out in front, able to take that race lead as Dylan Carrier there in second. Connolly up and into 3rd as that 9 rider Benjamin Romano slides all the way back now into position number 4, and he may be sliding farther back here. As there goes that Amazon Prime ride down to the inside. Looks like they're going to go 3, almost 4 wide here around him as all these drivers working to the outside lane of that Chevrolet, and he's just going to continue to fall farther and farther back, as I do believe he took a different strategy down pit road to beat these guys back out onto the racetrack, to be our race leader. I do believe he took a no tire or potentially a 2-tire pit stop there to become our race leader. So that was a big call for the 9 ride, but now he's paying the dividends of that move as all the drivers around him have fresher tires, have that speed, have that gear, and they're able to just kind of open up a bit of a gap and starting to pull away here, as we do see the 88 of Dylan Carrier. Carrier now under fire here. Carrier down to the inside here. 3 wide for a second, but the outside lane pushing hard, and that's going to push Connolly up and into position number 2. Connolly quickly jumps down to the inside lane, but they're still working to the outside of the 88 ride. You see Carrier and Crider right there. They were door-to-door, and now you see the 18 ride. I Noah Blackwell pushing this 5 ride down the front straightaway up to the back bumper of that 25. Now you see the 6 machine. That's Brian Underwood down low. Takes a run down to the inside. Looking for a big move here underneath the 5 ride. Can't quite slide up enough to find a hole right there. Unfortunately, going to have to settle in down on the inside lane. I think that's what happened really to the 88 of Dylan Carriers. Now you see the 25 ride making a big move down to the inside. It's Connolly looking for the race lead. So Connolly looking to jump out in front. He wants to be the race leader here this evening. We'll have to wait and see what the Brett's Electric ride can do out there on the racetrack, as it's going to be the 25 ride. Connolly out in front, taking that race lead as Crider right there. The 88 right of Noah Blackwell right there ready to bounce. Here comes that 88 of Dylan Carrier again to the outside lane. So it looks like you really want to be in that middle to outside groove here at Auto Club Speedway. Once you start getting down to that inside lane here at the racetrack, you can get some good speed. You can get a great run if you can take that speed and get a great launch down into the corner. You may be able to slide up in front of some other drivers, gain a couple positions that way, but when you kind of get stuck down on that bottom groove, it really, really looks like you kind of get held down there. It really looks like you can't carry the speed or momentum that you need, and especially when they get lined up and start to kind of bump draft up there on the outside groove, and you're kind of down low just watching that happen, and they just carry all that speed and pass you out there on the racetrack. That's exactly where we see Dylan Carrier again, kind of sitting out there on the speedway, kind of just in a little bit of I would almost call it no man's land right here, because you can't move up. You kind of get stuck down low, and unfortunately, you're trying to still carry as much speed, try to help yourself out as much as possible, and really just nothing's happening, nothing's opening up for you, and you kind of just get stuck down here. You just got to try to find something, somewhere to go, slide up in front of one of these other drivers, but every time you try to slide up, all of a sudden you get another driver to your outside. You can't go any farther, but now he does get a little help here from that 24 rider, Jordan Hand, and now you do see Rose down low as well. Here comes Connolly, though, leading another lap. Is 26 laps down here. We're just over 1/4 of the way through this race, so still a lot of racing left to go. Our second stage will end at the completion of lap number 45, so for a lot of these drivers, they know that they still got quite a bit of time here, quite a few laps until we see this second stage come to an end, where we will hand out more points for the regular season drivers and for the regular season championship, and for any of the drivers that are either locked in or are looking for the bonus playoff point, you got to win that stage, where Dylan Carrier won stage number 1. So Carrier winning that first stage of the day, that will earn him not only 10 points to the regular season championship, but it will also give him 1 playoff point. So when he enters the playoffs, that 1 extra point could help him potentially transfer through into round by round by round racing action. As you see the 51 rider Wyatt Mickelson down on the apron here, continue to slide farther and farther back as he just gets down to the apron and pretty much lets the entire field go by right there. There goes Cody Cash and pretty much everyone else, and unfortunately for Wyatt Mickelson, falls all the way back here to 21st. Not sure what went wrong there with that Caterpillar ride. Nonetheless, off the pace by a ton out there on the racetrack. Here we go. Once again, it's Ryan Rose looking for the race lead here over William Connolly. Connolly trying to battle hard here on the outside lane. The 78 trying to get it back from him. Down low here, he's able to slide up. Clears the 25. Now it's for the 25 right of Connolly to figure out what he wants to do. Does he stay there? Does he go with him? Does he push him here? As he do take a look at the 88 machine. Here comes Dylan Carrier. Carrier gets a great run down to the inside. He says, I'll try to slide up here. I'll try to jump up in behind, and it looks like he may find a wall. Oh, man, it was so close. And you see the 25 scrub the outside wall. That does allow Carrier to jump up in front of him right there. So Carrier does jump up into position number 2. Now looking for a run to get around our race leader. He wants to be back to the front of the field here, as you do see Jordan Hand in the Optic Gaming 24 ride down low. He's looking to slide in front of that 6 machine of Brian Underwood. It's Underwood and Crider door to door back there for that 6th position. And man, this is some great racing action here, ladies and gentlemen. Some absolutely amazing racing. Lots of back and forth, lots of different strategy and game plans being played out by these drivers. Some drivers falling back, other drivers moving forward, and it just kind of keeps on going like that. As now you do see, oh man, the 5 rider Crider, hard contact into that outside fence there off of corner number 4. Hopefully it doesn't do too much damage there to his ride, but you do see Dylan Carrier get a great shove down into corner number 1, as that was the 24 ride, pushing him almost to the front of the field, but we do see the caution flag come back out. So caution flag is back out on the racetrack, and look out, it's one of the tier S1 machines as the 67 tore up right there. Looks like Landon Burbage. Also heavy damage here on the Prince's Towing number 2 ride. Let's take a look at it, see what happens where this caution flag comes out. Alrighty, so you see Landon Burbage. He's the orange car. Take a look at the car to his outside. It's the Scooby-Doo machine here of Mr. That is Mr. Blackwell right there. And looks like Blackwell and Aiden Lucas make contact as shoves the 18 ride down into that right rear quarter panel of the 2. It just hooks the 2 ride up the racetrack and into the 15. Heavy damage for both of those drivers. Absolutely tore up right there for Landon Burbage. Absolutely tore up for the 15 of Aiden Lucas. And unfortunately, I'm not sure when Scott Heinrichs gets collected in this. Looks like he's down low trying to keep himself out of it. He's just going to run out of room here as he's going to drive in here, bounce off the 18 ride, sends the 18 back up the racetrack here. 77, a Hauler gets a little piece of that one. Not much damage there for Hauler, but man, look at the 18 right here of Blackwell. Blackwell, after getting hit from the 67 up the track, right across the nose there of the 9 ride. That's going to absolutely tear apart the 9 machine as well. That's some heavy, heavy hit there for Benjamin Romano. So a bunch of drivers getting tore up here. Into corner number 3, one of them being Landon Burbage, another one being Noah Blackwell, and a bunch of tore-up race cars here on the racetrack. Let's see if we can get another look at this one. Man, there's some heavy, heavy hits out there, man. These guys really just made some heavy contact. Let's take a look at it here. So, 3 wide, headed down the front straightaway. Looks like the 2 of Burbage kind of just comes up the racetrack, gets into the 18, which bounces Blackwell off of Lucas. And then back into the 2 ride, in which case it just kind of hooks that 2 of Landon Burbage around. Burbage in the 15 get hung up in the outside lane. The 18 ride tries to cut down the racetrack right here in front of Ryan Hauler. Hauler, luckily enough, is going to avoid major contact right there with the 67, but does get another little piece of it there afterwards. But look at this hit here for Benjamin Romano. That's a big, big hit into the back end of the 18 ride. Then the 18 of Blackwell heavy into that outside fence. Romano getting some pretty heavy damage there to the outside as well. So a bunch of tore up race cars right there, and that really sets the stage here for late in this race, as these guys are going to be a little bit more frustrated now that that's happened, now that they've ran into problems, and probably using their quick repairs up, going to make things that much more interesting here late in this race, as if drivers have to use that quick repair. It could potentially be putting themselves into a tough position later in this race. We do see Blackwell able to use his quick repair. We do see Austin Farnham back down pit side. Looks like Hauler's just trying to get his done there the old-fashioned way. Same with the number 67 of Scott Heinrich's. Benjamin Romano still down pit road. Looks like Romano, he's going to be down pit road here for an extended period of time, as we do see Landon Burbage, he's rolling back out there. Let's see if Aiden Lucas can roll back out in front of our race leaders. As everyone came down pit road right there, everyone did make a pit stop on lap 32. So everyone came down pit road. Everyone's trying to play some different strategies. You do see Aiden Lucas roll back out before the pace car there, so he'll stay on the lead lap here. So he's staying on the lead lap, but still has a ton of damage on that ride. The 67 ride also just getting out in front of our race leaders, as Benjamin Romano still down pit side. Looks like he will go another lap or multiple laps down. For Gaston, he was out in front of the field there, did not come down pit side, and we'll have to wait and see what he's going to be able to do with fuel. But nonetheless, for the 72, after going down probably about 6-7 laps there, looks like he's going to get one back, and he's going to be able to draw in at least a lap closer to the lead lap here this evening. So we'll have to wait and see if he can gain anything extra, as unfortunately for the G-Man, running into issues early in this race and having some problems, and then being down pit side for an extended period of time, and now multiple laps down. He'll look to get ready to rebound here and hope to put himself into a better position. As we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing, the 24 and 25 on the front row. Crider and Applegate back there in row number 2, with Ryan Rose in the 7 of Caden Gargiulo. They're in row 3. Then we see Dylan Carrier, Brian Underwood there in 8th. Danny White in the 51 of Wyatt Mickelson. Rounding out our top 10 is Farrell Robbins, Melvin Brengerer, Cody Cash, Matthew Skurlak there in the 95 ride, rolls in about that 14th position. Justin Bradley, Ben Gleason, Kyle Shepard, Landon Burbage, and Noah Blackwell back there in 18th and 19th on the racetrack. Austin Farnham there in 20th with Ryan Hauler, Aiden Lucas, and Scott Heinrich is rounding out our top 23 drivers here this evening. As here we go, back to green flag racing, and a great restart for the outside lane. Outside lane gets a great launch, great restart right there for the 25 ride of Connolly. He's able to hang on to the race lead, trying to keep all these drivers back there at bay. So trying to keep him back there off of his back bumper, trying to keep him out of trouble, trying to keep himself just kind of pointing the right direction here, and still leading this race, and potentially trying to put himself into a second stage win, as drivers already in this race potentially using a couple pairs of tires. But we are about 35 laps completed here. down across the line, 35 laps done. That means we got, what, 65 more laps of racing action here this evening. And if the drivers have used 2 sets of tires, they got about 3 left back there behind pit wall. So you really just got to be careful and cautious on when you're using these tires in. Trying to keep yourself just pointing in the right direction, not having to use too many up, or potentially having some for later in the race is definitely going to be a big call as well. Trying to save that extra set, as we do see Cody Cash get up into the outside fence there. Looked like some pretty good contact for that Lowe's Pro ride. Let's take a look back at it. As kind of by himself here. Sends it into corner number 2, and just car washes up the racetrack. Has to roll out of the throttle, does end up into the fence there a little bit after almost coming up into the 18 ride right there. So the 18 of Blackwell trying to squeeze through there. And looks like things got very, very tight in a quick hurry. 48 trying to roll out of the throttle, trying to keep himself out of the fence. Kind of comes off the wall, back down the track, and man, almost made some pretty significant contact. That could have been game over there for the 18 ride of Noah Blackwell, but luckily enough, able to keep himself kind of out of that damage, out of that trouble, and able to keep on rolling here. But we do see, unfortunately, for the 48 ride of Cody Cash, he is now down pit side. Same with that 67 of Scott Heinrichs. So both drivers making green flag pit stops. You got to hope that you can stay on the lead lap, as right now the 78 ride, Ryan Rose, out in front of the field here. He's got that race lead once again with Jordan Hand there in second, but Jordan looking to try to take over that race lead as Applegate there in third. Danny White, Caden Gargiulo are top 5 as Brian Underwood right down to his inside. Now here comes the 88 as well of Dylan Carrier. Carrier trying to get that inside lane going as well, but look out, squirrely Underwood was right there. My gosh, that was some craziness. You do see the 67 right now. They start a log jam right there. They start to pinball off of each other, and unfortunately that's going to send the 7, the 6, and the 25 ride backwards ever so slightly. And now you see Carrier still trying to figure out a way to get around this 67 ride. Jumps down to the inside here. Says Scott Heinrich is, I'm going to try to find my way around you one way or another, whether it was through the middle or through that bottom, and had to shoot it down low. Looks like he will complete that pass, not only on the 67, but also on the 97 ride of Danny White as well. So White slides back into position number 5 as here comes the 51 ride, Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson right back into the battle here this evening as well. Going to see Mickelson battling back up through here and trying to put himself into a good position through the middle of this race. The 95 right of Matt Skrlak right there as well, as we do see Caden Gargiulo, Brian Underwood, Melvin Brengbrewer rounding out our top 10. Austin Farnham back there in 11th with Noah Blackwell, Ryan Haller, William Connolly back there in 14th, Ben Gleason, Josh Crider, Justin Bradley, Farrell Robbins, Kyle Shepard, Landon Burbage there in 20th with Aiden Lucas back in 21st. Now for Aiden, still has some very, very heavy front end damage here for that 15 ride. So he is way off the pace, just trying to limp this thing. Hope to get another caution flag at the end of stage number 2 and trying to put himself back onto the, keep himself on the lead lap in and get another opportunity to come down pit road during the yellow. Try to get this thing fixed up. As Scott Heinrichs unfortunately has fallen a lap down, but for Heinrichs, he is the first car 1 lap down. Should get the lucky dunk, the wave around during our next stage break. As Cody Cash still down pit road off the Speedway. Looks like his day may be over. We'll have to wait and see if he gets back out there on the racetrack. For Gaston, he's still a lot of laps down here. He's still about 6 laps down, 5-6 laps down there for the 72 ride. So tough break for him, and unfortunately for Benjamin Romano, he's also got a lot of damage on his car. Still down pit side here. He's a lot of laps down now as well. As out in front, it's Ryan Rose. Rose looking to try to pick up stage win number 2 here this evening as he rolls there in that top spot. It's Applegate back there in position number 2. Jordan Hand there in third as our boy Huey E38 coming in showing the love. How are you, Hugh? Hugh coming in showing the love here in this one. Says, let's go, Lucas. Cheering on Aiden Lucas out there on the Speedway. Aiden Sir Lucas has struggled here. Obviously, some pretty heavy contact early, and then in that last caution flag, getting pretty tore up, and just not trying to use that quick repair, trying to get this thing repaired. But right now, he is definitely behind the ball. Definitely needs a few caution laps and try to help get that thing fixed back up and into good racing condition. As out in front, Ryan Rose continues to lead the way here. Jordan Hand in position number 2. But look at that 51 ride. That's Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson putting himself right into this battle at the front of the field, making a late race charge here in stage number 2 as Mickelson up and into 3rd here. We do see Applegate slide back to 4th. Here comes Dylan Carrier in position number 5 on the racetrack. As Applegate right down low, looks like Applegate may slide back a spot here as Carrier trying to clear him. Doesn't look like he's going to close that door, and unfortunately, that little bit may hurt that 88 ride as here comes the 7 of Caden Gargiulo, the 6 of Underwood, Farnham right there, as well as Danny White and Matthew Skrlak still hanging on to our top 10 here in stage number 2 as we only got about a lap and a half left here in our second stage. As out in front, it's Ryan Rose with the race lead here. Rose looking very good, but we see some contact back there behind him. Look out. That may be a caution flag. There goes the 67. Turned around, yellow flag on the racetrack. Yellow flag back out on the Speedway, and that will end our second stage here this evening. As not sure which car moves up, which car moves down, but nonetheless, see the 19 ride as Melvin Brengru on the outside groove, then 119, or no, it's the 67 down below him, and it looks like the 67 just comes up the racetrack, unfortunately kind of just up and over the nose there of the 19 ride. They get tied together, pretty hard contact into that outside fence, and then eventually 19 has to get around him here, just cuts down to the inside, and it spins him all the way around, parked there on the Speedway. Caution flag is out, and that is what will do that one. That's definitely going to bring a yellow flag out 99% of the time, as we'll take another look at it here, try to get another angle, see what was kind of going on here. I'm not sure if the 67 just thought he was clear, and he wasn't clear of the 19 ride. 19 does get a good run right here, and just looks like the 67 thought he was clear, or he would try to pinch him up there, where maybe he'd roll out of the throttle. Nonetheless, kind of keeps traveling up, get tied together, and that's all she takes, that one little bit, and some pretty good contact, pretty good damage there for the 67 and the 19 ride, and that will put us back under the yellow flag, and that will get everyone down pit road here as the stage is going to end under the caution flag once again. It is Ryan Rose who wins stage number 2. So Rose winning stage number 2, it was Dylan Carrier who won stage number 1, and now all these drivers ready to go to battle, ready to duke it out here in this one for our final stage of the day. Let's see if we can get one of these drivers up and into the booth here. Let's see if we can find one of these guys to kind of drag in, that we got an open channel that we can slide into real quick here. Okay, we can probably slide into Wyatt Mickelson here. Let's see if we can get Mickelson into the chat. He was able to drive his way up there pretty nicely, but here during pit stops, looks like he's going to come out in about the 5th position or so there. So about 5th position there for Wyatt Mickelson. So let's get Mickelson up here into the booth, see what he's going to say about today's race so far. Hey Wyatt, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Wyatt, man, so far a bit of an up and down day for you, man. We saw you fall back a couple times there to the rear of the field, and then you're late in this second stage, driving right up there into about that 3rd position, getting some solid points here in the second stage this evening, man. Take us through this race, and what's the game plan going forward?
It's been pretty intense up in the front, and got spun out earlier and had to take the fast repair, and just was kind of minding my own, and I got a pretty good run a couple times, and worked my way up here. I'm gonna just kind of try to be careful and mind my P's and Q's and try to get a good finish out of this.
Absolutely. Now, how nerve-wracking is it? Obviously seeing already a few yellow flags, some pretty good wrecks out there on the racetrack, and already using up that quick repair. How do you get to race the final 50 laps or so of this race? Know that you don't have that quick repair. If you get tied up in another big wreck, that it could be night over for you.
Yeah, I just gotta be really careful, especially when I go 3 wide and all that, because that happens a lot tonight. So just gotta be careful with that and take care of the car and not get into any other issues tonight.
Absolutely, brother. Well, good luck, have fun, and hopefully we'll see you back up here by the end of the evening.
Heck yeah, man. Thanks. Have a good one.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, get up there for Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson jumping in here, giving us a quick word on, what he's got to do, where he needs to be, and how he needs to try to put himself up and into, victory lane, or at least just get a good, solid finish here this evening as we'll get them all ready to rumble, ready to go back to green flag racing here as we'll see the green flag come back out on lap number 47, as I do believe the race leader is the 119 ride of Austin Farnham. Farnham using some pit strategy right there, able to make a quick pit stop, get that car hooked up, and he is now our race leader, keeping all these drivers back there at bay. But look at who's outside. Once again, it was our pole sitter in our early race our leader in our early race stage winner. That was the 88 ride of Dylan Carrier. Carrier had a solid second stage there as well. Did not get the stage win, but here he is in position number 2, ready to pounce. Ryan Rose right there, our second stage winner of the evening. They're in third, and it looks like the inside lane able to get a pretty solid restart as Austin Farnham onto loud pedal, able to get a great launch here. He's going to lead us down into corner number 1. He jumps down to the inside lane. It's the 78 to the middle. Here comes Dylan Carrier down low. Carrier looking to try to move his way forward a little bit farther here as he looks to catch up to the Burt's Electrical number 78 machine. As you do see some contact back there, you do see that Toxic Crider number 5 ride down onto the apron right there, sliding backwards here, and unfortunately kind of right in the middle of a big gaggle of cars back here. He's got Farrell Robbins right there with him. That is Cody Cash in there, the 115 of Kyle Shepard. All these drivers just bouncing around, moving around. You see Justin Bradley there, the 72 of Gaston. Take a look at the 67 right there. Scott Heinrich is there, as well as, good to see the 9 rod. Benjamin Romano back out there onto the track as well. Wasn't sure if we were going to get Romano back out there onto the speedway. And take a look at Aiden Lucas. Lucas still rolling here about the 21st position, unfortunately for Aiden. Still has a ton of heavy front end damage. He needs a few more caution flags to try to get this car fixed back up and working in good working condition again here. He's struggling out there. Obviously no front bumper, no good suspension on the front end of that car. Probably a gangle of other big issues for that 15 machine, but either not having that quick repair anymore or not wanting to use that quick repair as of yet and just trying to hang on right now for that number 15 ride back here deep in the field as Dylan Carrier able to jump out in front. So Carrier takes that race lead. Here comes Farnham though, looking to try to take that race lead back away, as we did see the 78 of Ryan Rose slide all the way back into 5th as there's contact. Look out, there goes our race leader. Dylan Carrier's around. Oh, baby. Oh, lucky break for Carrier's able to get that thing checked up before hitting a wall or any more massive damage for him. But man, oh man, some big mistakes here at the front of the field. And unfortunately, our race leader, Dylan Carrier, he's going to get the worst end of it. So Carrier kind of does lead the outside lane ever so slightly, but he's still kind of in his lane right here. Just running up there on the high side. Let's take a look at it, as it's probably the 24 right there. So the 24 ride of Jordan Hand ends up getting into the 19. Let's take another look at it here from potentially Austin's perspective, or even let's see if we can jump on the Jordan Hand's perspective. As Jordan Hand, where is he hiding? There he is. Okay, so Hand's getting a good run outside lane here. I'm not sure if he just moves up or if the 19 kind of comes down. Looks like the 24 is kind of coming down, the 19's kind of coming up, and unfortunately they just get met in the middle right there, and they get tied together, and that kind of spins the 119 down into the back bumper into the left rear quarter panel of our race leader for Dylan Carrier. This is a heartbreaker for him. His Carrier gets tagged right there, just knocks that rear end loose and spins that car around. You take a look at the 119 and the 24, heavy contact into the outside fence there for both of those drivers. And then Caden Gargiulo is going to get in there. Look at Gargiulo up and into the air, almost over. Oh, heavy hit as well for the 18 ride. Noah Blackwell. Landon Burbage also going to get some pretty heavy contact into that. There's Ryan Haller. He's tied up in it as they continue to wreck down into corner number 3 here. Oh man, some heavy hits here for a lot of drivers out there on the racetrack. So many of these cats just getting tore up here. This is brutal. This is awful for a lot of these drivers trying to keep themselves out of it. So they're racking up in front of them here. Take a look at the 7 ride. Gives a shot to the 51. It kind of gets Wyatt Mickelson around it and through it there. Doesn't get him collected, but Danny White, Noah Blackwell. Look at the 7 and the 119 just hooked together here down on the inside of the racetrack. But up on the high side, you see Danny White tied up in it. There's the 24 machine. 77 lane and Burbage in there as well, so Hand and Burbage tied up in it. Haller getting some damage there as well, and everyone else just trying to slide their way through that, trying to keep themselves out of it, and it looks like more drivers still piling into this. After the fact here, let's take a look at it as it looks like the 95 ride potentially here. Let's see if we can find the 95 machine of Matthew Skurlak. So Skurlak here looks like he's going to send it into the corner. He sees all this chaos in front of him. He goes to the high side, sees all these cars spin around. He spins around himself, and then you see the 19 ride right there late in it. Slides in there and ends up finding some contact there himself with Noah Blackwell. Pretty heavy hit there for Blackwell again as the 19 just going to slide in there and make some pretty heavy contact here. Hard to see, but elects to use the outside lane. That is a very hard shot right there. Okay, let's see if we can jump on board here with this 19 ride. See what he can see from the cockpit. There's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of carnage. There's a lot of cars all over the place. Where do you go? How do you figure out which lane you want to go into? Man, avoids one car, goes to the outside, and actually that was the 7 ride of Caden Gargiulo that he ends up running into right there, not the 18 of Noah Blackwell, but nonetheless, a lot of drivers tore up, man. A lot of cars tore up. A lot of drivers going to be probably making multiple trips down pit road, as you do see Jordan Hand back down pit side. Brenger still down pit road. I believe he already used his quick repair early in this race, so that may be game over for the 19 ride. Danny White still down pit side in the 79 right now. Already a lap or two down here as well for the 79 machine. Cody Cash, he's going to be trying to get some laps back, trying to get back into this battle. Gaston still looking for some laps, as well as Benjamin Romano. So these drivers are going to take some waiver rounds, and you do see Aiden Lucas still been trying to get this car repaired, still coming down pit road and getting some work done to it. Every caution flag, unfortunately, going to need a lot more trips down pit side. And luckily enough for Dylan Carrier, looks like he is going to get his position back. So Carrier, luckily enough, does get his spot back out there on the racetrack, and we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. So Carrier out in front, Ryan Rose there in second. Then we see the 57 of Applegate, Josh Crider, William Connolly, Wyatt Mickelson, Farrell Robbins, Ben Gleason, Caden Gargiulo, Justin Bradley up inside the top 10 now is Kyle Shepard back at 11th. Landon Burbage there in 12th. And here we go, back to battle here as 53 laps completed this evening. So 53 laps are done and gone, and we got just under 50 laps left to go. About 47 more laps of racing action here this evening. Who will figure it out? Who will put themselves up and into victory lane here today? As Dylan Carrier has the race lead. Look at him still racing hard back there behind him, man. 2, 3 wide. Everyone's still trying to battle their way up towards the front of the field. No one's going to back down. We're going to see this type of racing all evening long. And as they come back down the front straightaway and into our restart zone here, down across the line, they will click off lap number 54. So we get about 46 laps of racing action left to go here this evening. Just a little over halfway through this race. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what we're going to do is just over halfway, we're going to jump into a Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. So what we want you guys to do is crank up that volume, cheer on your favorite drivers as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Crank up that volume, cheer these guys on. Let us know who you want to see in victory lane here today. out. Big hits. Big hits out there on the racetrack. Ton of drivers tied up there again as we saw that one happening live, and unfortunately a bunch of drivers just got absolutely tore up. A couple of them up there in those webcams as well, so you may get some pretty good reactions out of some of those drivers that just got absolutely shredded apart right there. Let's take a look and quickly see what happens as our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up caution flag is going to fly. As it looks like a lot of contact down and into the corner here. That was a little bit behind. We saw, looked like the 24 ride here of Jordan Hand. Looked like Hand getting a little helping hand here down in towards the infield as, oh, there you go. You see Gleason and the 2 ride get tied together. So the Gleason ride and the 2 right here, they get tied together down the back straightaway. As they make contact, the 2 gets down into the 66 and is just going to kind of bounce the 66 right across his nose into the outside fence. And you're going to see the 6 of Underwood and the 24 Jordan Hand both jump down to the inside to avoid it. It looked like the 6 may have got a little bit of damage there. 24 has to go even farther down. So he's way down onto the apron here on corner entry. Really has to get this car checked up before heading into the corner. Then unfortunately, at the same time that kind of happened to the back straightaway, looks like Josh Crider going to get into the inside here. He's got a big run. He's pushing the 88 ride of Dylan Carrier into corner number 3 here. Takes it to the middle. Unfortunately, kind of shoots it up to the middle side here and ends up into the left rear quarter panel of that Brett Electric number 78 ride of Ryan Rose. And Rose just trying to hang on to this car. Unfortunately, he just snap hooks back around, comes back up the racetrack into the 5 ride of Crider. Him and Crider up the speedway. Hard contact into the outside fence. And then you look, you see this 76 Ryan Farrell Robbins. He's trying to keep himself out of it, trying to keep that car rolling. Unfortunately, he does virtually the same thing, tries to save it, ends up overcorrecting up into the wall there for him. Heavy contact there for the 76 Ryan. Then everyone else just trying to avoid all the carnage, trying to keep themselves out of this chaos here. And luckily enough, not too many other drivers got collected or tore up here, so it was mainly just the 5, the 78, and the 76, but big hits here for these guys, man. Big hits. And oh man, that's such a big hit there. Here, the bottom end, both out of the 78 and the 5 ride, engines expiring after that contact, after those hits. And unfortunately for both drivers, looks like they've had to tow their cars down pit road. Not even going to be able to roll all the way down there and having to tow their cars down pit side. That's going to put them both probably at least a lap or potentially multiple laps down here this evening, as everyone did come down pit side. And again, another good pit stop here for the 119 ride of Austin Farnham, as that's going to put Farnham now into the race lead. So Farnham out in front, Noah Blackwell into second, Carrier back there in position number 3, Caden Gargiulo there in 4th with Applegate, Connolly, Wyatt Mickelson, Jordan Hand there, our top 8, Burbage back there in 9th, and Kyle Shepard rounding out our top 10. Matthew Skrlak there in 11th with Ryan Haller, Justin Bradley, Brian Underwood there in 14th. Aiden Lucas, looks like that car is a lot more repaired. Looks like they definitely did some pretty sizable work during this caution flag for that sun drop number 15. Still pretty good damage on it. Still needs some more repairs, but at least it's a lot better now. Potentially going to be a little bit more competitive out there, but we do see Farrell Robbins still down pit side getting his car repaired, still out there on the racetrack. Ryan Rose does get rolling back out there, but unfortunately for Rose, does look like he is probably about a lap down out there on the speedway for him, and I do believe Josh Crider still down pit road, still off the racetrack. Ben Gleason still down pit road here as well in the 66 ride. Scott Heinrich is still lapped down. Farrell Robbins still lapped down. So there's a lot of drivers that are now no longer on the lead lap. Aiden Lucas is in the 15th position. He is the last car on the lead lap. Then Ryan Rose a lap down. Farrell Robbins at least a lap down, but still down pit side here. So he's probably going to go multiple laps down. You see heavy right front damage still for that 76. Ryan Heinrich is about 2 laps down there on the racetrack. And for a lot of these drivers, definitely not the place you want to be. Definitely not wanting to be multiple laps down. And this one is not over yet. We still got a lot of racing left to go. It's here we go. Back to green flag racing here this evening at Auto Club Speedway as the 119 of Austin Farnham Gets that green flag out quickly on the loud pedal. Here comes Dylan Carrier. Here comes Blackwell. Blackwell trying to use that outside lane as the 88 ride down low. Door to door for the NJBDesigns.com teammates there on the racetrack. Steamrolling down the back straightaway. Looks like they'll go a little bit more single file, but they're 3 wide back behind them here. As Caden Gargiulo trying to hold on to the 5th position. Connolly and Wyatt Mickelson looking to try to take it away from, but now you see the 18 ride gets a piece of the apron right there. Very loose. The 88 has to roll out of it. That's going to open up the door for this 57 ride of Applegate to get a big run here. Gets to the outside of that 88 machine. As now you do see Wyatt Mickelson up and into position number 4. But we see more contact. Around goes the 95 ride. There's the caution flag. Caution flag back out on the racetrack here is the 95 ride, the University of Wyoming 95 of Matt Skrlak going to go for a loop-de-loop here. Some contact down into corner number 1, and just looks like the 7 kind of comes up the racetrack right there. Unfortunately, 95's already there, and it just kind of hooks the 95 right around. They both wash down. Looks like the 2 of Landon Burbage going to get some pretty good contact in that as well. Some pretty solid damage there for that Princess Towing number 2 machine as the 95 ride does go around and brings that caution flag back in. So another quick yellow flag here this evening. We've seen a lot of quick cautions out there on the racetrack, but you take a look. 7 right coming up, makes the contact there with the 95, and then it just kind of hooks him here. Hooks him around, spins him around. There's the 2 right into the back end of the 7, and the front end of that 95 ride, getting some solid damage there for Landon Burbage. We'll have to hope to see that car not too damaged up, as I do believe he's already used his quick repair here today, and definitely maybe down pit side for an extended period of time here as here he comes down pit road. So, man, a lot of tore up race cars, a lot of cautions out here in this one as Bones Dust says, I'm a pick Rose. Let's go. That was unfortunate timing picking Rose and then having them get wrecked right there. But I do believe with that caution flag, I do believe Ryan Rose should get the lucky dog. I do believe he should get the free pass back on the lead lap. We'll have to wait and see as Bones, yeah, definitely not very happy with the call there. But sure says move it up. 77 Holler cheering on Holler here this evening. Mrs. Holler says, love Rollin Wieners. I have a brown lowrider wiener. We're rooting for Holler number 77. Oh, that's awesome. A brown lowrider wiener. Okay. Is that a dog? Lowrider? Does that mean like his belly scraping on the ground? What does that mean? I'm assuming it's dogs, right? Wiener dogs? Is a full moon? What is it? A full moon? Says Lonnie Crider. Is it a full moon? What's going on? Yeah, I'm not sure. It's gotta be a full moon or something, Lonnie. Definitely gotta be a full moon out there, man. It's been a bit of a crazy one here this evening. A lot of cautions, a lot of chaos out there on the racetrack, and a lot of tore up race cars, man. Not very often that we see these guys out there on the racetrack having these amount of issues, but with Burbage still down pit side, still heavy damage on this number 2 run. I do believe he is going to be down pit road for an extended period of time here this evening. And I do believe, yeah, we're still going to have probably only 15 cars left on the lead lap right now. So we started this evening with what do we have to start this race? 25 drivers, 10 cars that are either potentially done this race or multiple laps down. When we take a look back, Danny White looks like he is down and out of this race. Melvin Brangruer also down and off of the Speedway. Benjamin Romano is still rolling out there on the racetrack now. Romano is about 11 laps down or so. He's about 11 laps down or so back in 23rd for Josh Crider. He's still down pit road. Ben Gleason, he's back out there, but Gleason's about 6 laps down. Farrell Robbins still down pit road. Gaston's out there. He's about 5 laps down here on the Speedway. Cody Cash, he's about 3 laps down, 4 laps down for Cody Cash here on the racetrack. And then we see Scott Heinrichs. I believe he's a couple laps down here, maybe 2 laps down. Yeah, 2 laps down for him. Landon Burbage now down pit road. He's going to be multiple laps down before that car is repaired. Aiden Lucas just on the lead lap there in 15th. So it's really really opened up the door here for a lot of drivers to have some good days, some good racing here late in the race, and a lot less cars out there on the racetrack and a lot of tore up race cars, man. It's going to make things very, very interesting here for later on, and who's going to be able to survive just to the end. As Bone says, that's what I'm thinking. That's what you're thinking. It's got to be a wiener dog, a low rider wiener dog. Yeah, wiener dog, says Mrs. Holler. Is it just like, what does low rider wiener dog mean? Does it just mean like he's got super short legs? Or like, does like his belly scrape the ground? Or like, is it really, really close? How does that work? What's the difference between a low rider wiener dog and just like a regular wiener dog? What is the difference? Proud of chat for not dogpiling on that comment. Yeah. Thanks, chat. I'm glad they did. That's for certain. But here we go. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing is Blackwell. Out in front, Dylan Carrier there in second. Applegate, Wyatt Mickelson, Caden Gargiulo, our top 5 out there on the racetrack. Haller there in 6 with Underwood, Surlack, and then we see Connolly and Jordan Hand rounding out our top 10 as here we go. Back to green flag racing and back to our Peacemaker gaming. Crank it up. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're hoping to stay clean and green this time. We're hoping that we're not going to jinx it here this evening, as we are going to crank it up again here this evening on Peacemaker Gaming. Everybody give it up for all these drivers. A beautiful crank it up session that time. Able to get all these guys the sights and sounds around the racetrack as we do start to see green flag pit stops here. First driver down pit road is our race leader as the DJC Cinematography number 88 rider Dylan Carrier comes down pit side here on lap number 81. So he makes that hard left-hand turn down to the first pit stall, and he'll look to get that car serviced and back out there onto the racetrack as Applegate will consume that race lead. So Grant now out in front has the race lead. We'll have to wait and see who elects to come down pit side next, as all these drivers, they cannot make it to the end on field. They're going to have to make at least one more pit stop, and it's all about when you come down pit road and if you can use those fresh tires to your advantage. Ryan Rose back on the lead lap here. He comes down pit side here in that Brett's Electric number 78 machine. So he makes his way down pit lane. Is out in front. It's still Applegate. Applegate still has that race lead. Is my boy Michael King coming in, showing the love over there on Facebook. How are you, Michael? Michael, always good to see you, my dude. Says, good, my man. Just busy with life. Glad to catch you live. I'm glad to have you back in here, my boy. And hey, man, life is always happening, man. It's never slowing down for anybody. So we're just happy when we can see you, man. Even though it's been a while, man, we're still always happy to see you out there on the racetrack. And my boy Dustin Benton came into the chat there as well a little while ago, said over on Facebook, says, you guys tip this guy big tonight so he can pay for the Fantasy Football League entry. Yes, chat, exactly. I honestly thought Dustin was going to cover me. I thought Dustin was going to tip me enough to just pay for it, you know. That should be his donation to me, just paying for it, but he just laughed at that comment. He didn't, I don't know if he's on board with that one or not. I don't even know what it is for our entry fee for our Fantasy Football League this year, but man, yeah, we need to get that paid up. We need to get that paid up so we can play some fantasy football again this season. We were so close again last year, just could not quite get to the end, but nonetheless, we still have lots of great racing here this evening. As Applegate out in front, Jordan Hand there in second, Austin Farnham there in third, Connolly, Caden Gargiulo, Justin Bradley, and now Kyle Shepard, our top seven, as we do see Wyatt Mickelson down pit side. He's got his teammate Ryan Haller right there with him. Noah Blackwell also down pit road. Matthew Skrlak coming down pit side there in the 95 ride as Dylan Carrier. He is the first car out in front here with the newer tires and on this strategy here. So he has the race lead as of what would be right now, and he has about 5.5 seconds between himself and Ryan Rose. That's a big gap between him and Ryan out there on the racetrack. Underwood right there behind the 78 machine as well, so could potentially be a big move for that 88 Ryan getting out in front, having this big lead, hoping to try to keep all these drivers back there at bay until the end of this race. As you do see our race leaders right there behind him. There's Applegate, there's Jordan Hand, Austin Farnham right there as well. So if we get a late race caution flag here, potentially could trap a lot of these drivers a lap down, as Connolly now down pit side, Caden Gargiulo, Justin Bradley, Kyle Shepard all down pit side here as well. As now here we go, we see Applegate and we see Jordan Hand both come down pit side. So Hand and Applegate both down pit road. Austin Farnham's going to stay out for at least another lap. So is an Aiden Lucas. I'm not sure how much this is going to help Lucas. Obviously still heavy damage to the front end of that 15 ride, but for Farnham, trying to stretch it out a little bit longer here, trying to go a little bit farther. There is that 78 and the 6 ride trying to get around him here. Now that may end up blocking him. He's maybe going to have to let these guys go by if he's looking to try to hit pit road this time around. We'll have to wait and see. But you do see the power of the fresh tires compared to the old tires. They're going to blow right on by that 119 right, Austin Farnham, and it does look like Farnham's going to make the hard left-hand turn, and he's also going to head down pit side here. Got to make sure you get checked up. Do not want to get a pit road speeding penalty here this late in the race, as Farnham does head down pit side. Aiden Lucas still out there on the racetrack. He had to come down pit road here himself. He may try to go a few more laps, but it is Dylan Carrier who would be at the front of the field here. Still with a big lead. He's got a great gap between himself and Ryan Rose and Brian Underwood. Still about 5.5 seconds. And then we see Applegate just rolling back out there. Noah Blackwell down into the grass. It looked like Blackwell may have lost connection. Oh, no. Heartbreaker there for Noah Blackwell, as Blackwell was having a great run. Looked like he was battling up inside the top 5, top 10 for pretty much all of this race. And then all of a sudden, we just saw that car go hard left. It looks like he may have alt that forward as that car disappearing off the racetrack and out of this race. As there we go. We did see that number 15 right at Aiden Lucas down pit road. That will forfeit the race lead over to Dylan Carrier. Carrier now has about 13 laps left in this race, but he is got older tires. He does have older tires than the cars behind him, so they're going to be probably catching him out there on the racetrack. What he can either do is try to save a little bit, hold back, and try to cruise control for a little while, save some tires to have him later in their run when they catch him to be able to try to keep up with them or to keep them back there at bay, or just try to keep full throttle here, trying to keep them all back there, just continue to run some wicked fast lap times. But we do see Ryan Rose, Underwood are cutting that race lead down in a quick hurry. Last time around, they were about 4/10 quicker than our race leader, so they are running quite a bit quicker than Dylan Carrier. Looks like Carrier just kind of backed that pace up, expecting them to catch him. But if he can save tire, and once they do get to his back bumper, if he just puts that throttle down and starts to pull back away from these guys, as they're burning their stuff up. They are really working their cars right now, trying to make sure that they can close that gap here on our race leaders down across the line. They will see 11 laps left to go here in this race. Ryan Rose, Brian Underwood trying to hunt down our race leader a little farther back here, about a 1.7 second gap between Applegate to Brian Underwood here. Applegate rolls there in 4th. Jordan Hand right there in 5th. Now these two have some of the freshest tires out there on the racetrack, as Caden Gargiulo back there in 6th, Wyatt Mickelson there in 7th, Connolly there in 8th, Haller back in position number 9, and then you see that 119 right at Austin Farnham. He was down pit road. He was one of the last drivers down pit side on lap 87, and he has he's got some pretty quick tires, some pretty good tires there. He's back in 10th right now. He's about 7.7 seconds behind our race leader, but has a bunch of cars right here in front of him. There's some contact there between Haller and the 25 of Connolly. Connolly and Haller bouncing off each other there a little bit down the front straightaway. That may open up the doors. Now they're making more contact. They're leaning on each other back here for that 8th position, and they got to be careful, because here comes the 119 down low. He'll take them 3 wide, and he'll move right on around both of them. He'll say thank you very much for that one, as that was a bit of a blessing right there for him as they were tied together. But now they're still 3 wide, but now there's more contact. Look out. Oh, baby, the 25 and the 77. Oh, man, Haller and William Connolly, man, I don't know if they're done yet, chat. I don't know if these two are done potentially wrecking each other out there on the racetrack. They've been beating and banging for the last couple laps, and they are not done yet. They're still door to door. Now back in the 10th and 11th position. We'll have to wait and see if they can get it cleaned up, or if they're going to continue this battle back here. That 9th and 10th spot on the racetrack. It looks like maybe Connolly finally able to slide up, clear that 77 ride, but they may not be over. It may not be over yet. I'm not sure if these two are very happy with each other. I'm sure Connolly not going to be very happy with the 77 right now, and I'm not sure if Haller isn't very happy with this 25 ride, but nonetheless, they've been duking it out back here. Deeper in the field, right around mid-pack, is out in front. Dylan Carrier still has this race lead, has still a solid gap here, about 3.8 seconds between himself and Ryan Rose. Rose and Underwood still hunting him down here, but with only 8 laps left, man, there is still a pretty big gap that they got to try to reel in our race leader. So they're trying to close that gap. They're trying to catch up to him here. Unfortunately, not as quickly as I think they were hoping to be catching him out there on the racetrack. And if they only continue to catch him by, 2 or 3 tenths a lap, they're going to fall a couple seconds shy of potentially battling with this 88 ride of Dylan Carrier for the race win, and this could be 3 in a row for Dylan Carrier to start this season. Obviously, one of those races was our clash race, our shootout earlier in the year. Now that race did not count for points. He still won that race, but he won last week in our season opener at Daytona. Now he's looking to win our 2nd race of the season here at Auto Club Speedway and trying to go 3 for 3 here on Season 6 with the Premium Stock Car Racing League. This DJC Simtography, NJBDesigns.com Carrier Motorsports ride is absolutely hooked up here this evening, and now he's starting to catch some lap traffic here. Now, this could help him, could hurt him out there on the speedway. It all depends on how he catches them and how he can move around him, but right now he is getting a little bit of draft off the back bumper of the 15 and the 95 ride, which could reel him in a little closer to them, could help him out ever so slightly, but he just does not want to battle door-to-door with these guys for too long. Does not want to get stuck up in them as you start to see the battle back there for second heating up, as we did see Underwood able to get around Ryan Rose, and now you see Applegate right there as well. Applegate and Jordan Hand, they're both trying to get around this 6 and the 78 right now. This is another big bonus for Dylan Carrier if they continue to battle back here for position number 2 on the racetrack. That could also help him pull farther and farther away from him. He's down across the line. He'll see 5 laps left to go. Still has about a 3.3 second lead between himself and our second place car out there on the speedway. Oh, baby, it's going to get down to the nitty-gritty. Who do you guys think? Do you think that this number 88 ride will keep him back there at bay? Will he keep all these drivers out of all the action here and potentially put himself up and into victory lane, man? As this has definitely been a good one so far. As Michael King, brother, yes, we will catch you in the next one, my boy. Always enjoy talking with you, man. Always good to see you in the chat, man. And hopefully you have yourself a wonderful day. Hopefully we see you back in here very soon to watch some more amazing racing here on Peacemaker Gaming, as Dylan Carrier going to click off another lap here this evening, going to try to keep these drivers all back there at bay. As, man, this has been heck of a race, man. We saw a lot of caution flags, a lot of beating and banging early on, but the second half has been pretty clean and green here, and we may see this one go clean right down to the end. I know Dylan Carrier definitely wants to see this race go to the end without a caution flag. He does not want to see another yellow out there on the speedway. Wants to keep all these drivers back there at bay. As Jordan Hand, he would love to see a caution flag right now as he jumps up into second here. Down across the line for Carrier. He will click off lap number 97. We got 3 laps left to go here in this race. He's got about 2.5 seconds between himself and Jordan Hand. So 2.5 seconds the gap between first and second. Last time around, Jordan Hand was about half a second quicker. So if he can stay half a second quicker each of these next 3 laps, he's still going to be about a second shy. But man, oh man, it's going to be tight. He could definitely catch him, but he does have a couple lap cars now between himself and the 88 ride, and that could be the make or break section right there. Even if Hand finds a little extra speed here late in this race, trying to make his way through that lap traffic may slow him down enough that it's just going to allow the 88 ride to open up a little bit more of a lead here and keep himself at the front of the field. Is down across the line. 2 laps left to go, and the gap is 2 seconds. I feel like this one is pretty much Dylan Carrier's race to lose here this evening. He's just got to hit his marks, keep himself out of trouble, and drive this 88 ride back up and into victory lane here this evening. As Dylan Carrier out in front, as you do see Applegate bouncing off the outside fence. There's the gap back to Jordan Hand. Hand's there in second. Underwood there in third. Caden Gargiulo up and into position number 4 with Ryan Rose there in 5th. Grant Applegate, Austin Farnham right there as well. Farnham does have the best tires out of anybody inside our top 7 here on the racetrack, so maybe he can make a couple late race moves, but we do see that white flag fly. So one more time around here for Dylan Carrier. The gap is about 1.6 seconds between himself and the 24 of Jordan Hand. Hand gets through the lap traffic here. He's got nothing between him and Dylan Carrier now, but out of corner number 2 for the final time here this evening. It is a big gap between first and second as Carrier just has to hit his marks. Down here through corner 1 and 2, he's got a big gap here. Down for the final time through 3 and out of corner number 4, it's Dylan Carrier back down across the line, who will see the checker flag fly in the DJC Simtography 88 of Dylan Carrier will find victory lane here this evening at Auto Club Speedway. The 3-peat to start the season here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League for Dylan Carrier. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for our race winner as Carrier gets the job done here this evening. Jordan Hand comes home in second. Caden Gargiulo there in third. Underwood, Applegate, our top five with Austin Farnham back in sixth. Ryan Rose, Wyatt Mickelson, Connolly, and Haller rounding out our top 10. Justin Bradley and Kyle Shepard rounding out our top 12 and our lead lap drivers here this evening. But you see the 24 congratulating Dylan here this evening, as Dylan has been off to a hot start here this year, man. 3 wins in a row. 3 wins in a row here this evening. Out in front by 1.6 seconds down across the line. And now gets to celebrate again here on the year as his... Oh, man, he talked about it. He wants this championship here this year. He had a great finish the last year. Just ran into connection issues and PC problems where all of a sudden some great races and potential checkered flags for this 88 ride and getting disconnected from iRacing and taken out of the race. He ended up really forfeiting a championship contention ticket. He forfeited virtually what could have been a championship on the season for this 88 ride there late last season after dominating a lot of these late races and then having those PC issues. But now this season, not having these PC issues at the start of the year, and he's just shown that dominance, putting himself out in front. And now you see his teammate right there with him. That is Noah Blackwell going to celebrate with him. Blackwell ended up running into one of those PC problems that we talked about where he was running up inside the top 10, got disconnected all of a sudden off the racetrack there, and looked like he ended up not running all the laps here. I do believe he ended up being about 2 or 3 laps down by the time he was able to load back into the sim, so a tough break there for him. But nonetheless, Dylan Carrier up and into victory lane. We'll get ready to pull him up here into the booth for his post-race interview. Hey, Dylan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
I got you loud and clear. 3 in a row.
Yes, sir. 3 wins in a row. Obviously, 2 of those being points races, man. But your hot start to the season continues here this evening. Obviously, a blazing fast lap time there in qualifying to give you that pole position. You win stage 1, and then stage 2, you come about, what is that, 3rd, 4th position, somewhere in there. But late in this race, man, just putting yourself in the right place at the right time, having that race lead, and then making that strategy call to be the first car to come down pit side, and it works out perfectly for you. A perfect pit stop. You come out with a massive lead between yourself and Ryan Rose and Brian Underwood, and obviously a lot of these other drivers were back there behind them, and you just kind of had that gap, and you had that time to work with, kind of relax, roll out of it, save your tires a little bit there, save the fuel a little bit out there on the racetrack, and it all works out perfectly for you as you're able to hold that 1.6 second lead down across the line and into your 3rd win in a row to start this season.
Yeah, it feels great. Didn't think I was going to make it on fuel. I wasn't paying attention. I was just focused on trying to keep as big as a gap as possible with this this track being so draft heavy. And I looked down at my fuel calculator and seen 1 lap short, and I about lost it. About 10 to go. So there on lap 97 and 98, I shut off the car and just let it coast through the corners. Saved up just enough fuel, and I don't think anyone else was expecting me to pit when I did. I didn't say anything. I didn't announce it. I just yanked it down pit road, took 2 tires. Thought I filled it up all the way on fuel, but didn't. Would have felt way better if I had filled it all the way up, but apparently I wasn't paying attention. But overall, a good result. Felt super fast, and looking forward to Knoxville next week. Maybe I can make a 4 in a row.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we go from the asphalt down to the dirt track next weekend, which is going to be a lot of fun. Always amazing to watch you guys race on the dirt track side of things. And obviously here tonight, though, man, it seemed like a bit of a dirt track race. A lot of slide jobs and 3-4 wide out there on the racetrack, man. Take us through some of the battles here this evening and how you got to navigate your way around this racetrack, because it seems like momentum is the key to success. You kind of get pinched down there on the bottom side of the speedway, and you really don't find a hole up there on the high side very soon. You kind of slide back quite a few positions.
Yeah, that's really how it felt. But I felt like I was way faster on the bottom than I was the top. I mean, I'd get down there next to these guys, and I would fly up 2 or 3 positions just in the corner, and then I would just get freight trained down the straightaways. Once I got out to that lead, though, it seems like if I could just protect the bottom, because where I was just so much faster that they could not pass me. They could get the run and try to take me on the bottom, but then I could muscle my way back around him. Or there, I crossed over Noah. He sent it in into one, and I lifted way early, crossed him over, and passed him back coming out of two. So it was definitely a very difficult track in these cars because it is all draft dependent. I mean, if you're in the draft, you're going into turn one at 201, 202. Without the draft, you're going into turn one at 190. So there's about a 12-mile-an-hour difference. So it is a very big difference. But yeah, this track is very tough, very tight. Car is very tight unless you took two tires. Then the car was a little bit looser, but um, yeah, overall it's basically a super speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. Very draft dependent out there, and a lot of beating and banging, bumping out there on the racetrack. But man, at the end of the day, you're able to drive this car down into victory lane again for your third win in a row to start this season. No one else has been in victory lane as of yet, as it's been the Dylan Carrier show here, and you park yourself once again up there on the start-finish line, burning down the house and celebrating another victory here this evening. Dylan, who would you like to thank here this evening for another dub here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League?
Yeah, I like to thank NJB Designs and Noah. He makes these bomb paint schemes I can bring out every weekend. And my new company I started up, DJC Cinematography. I'll take a lot of fancy pictures in iRacing and make them look as realistic as possible. Put them on the car and all the Carrier Motorsports guys. And I wish Sean was with us tonight, but he wasn't. And Cody wasn't here tonight either. Ryan was back, so that was a good change of pace. But yeah, those guys, wish them luck. Hopefully they'll be back next week. And thanks to you for putting on a great show every Saturday night. I love going back and rewatching the races. Even if I don't win, it's great to just go back and rewatch them, see what I did wrong, and see all the action I missed out on. And thanks to Josh and Brian for putting on this league. Honestly, it's the best league I've ever ran. Just hands down, best league I've ever ran. And Weehaw and all the other guys on the car. I think that's it.
Beauty. Well, Dylan, hell of a run, hell of a show, man. That was another great battle, another great race for you, and another big checkered flag here this evening. Now, we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack as we head to Knoxville Raceway next Saturday, man. Going back to dirt. Hopefully, we'll see you back up here, and maybe in the broadcast booth, maybe into victory lane again there in Knoxville, and maybe making it that 4 wins in a row.
Hopefully, dirt is my specialty. I got one more person I like to thank. I like to thank my smoking hot wife. There we go.
There you go.
Shout her out. I'll show her this later.
Perfect. Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, Dylan does have real life dirt experience as well, so he's going to be a threat out there on the racetrack. He will be a threat out there on the racetrack. Okay. All right, Dylan, enjoy the dub, man. Congrats here again this evening, and hopefully we'll see you back out there next Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Dylan Carrier's Carrier picks up the checkered flag here this evening. Look at that beautiful baby face right there, man. He's ready to rock and roll. He's ready to head to our next racetrack there at Knoxville Raceway. Has real-life dirt experience, so it's going to be fun to see him out there on the racetrack. But nonetheless, we're going to get ready to pull in our second-place driver, Jordan Hand. Hey, Jordan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jordan, man, another strong run, another great race here for you, man. Take us back through this one. Obviously, a lot of beating and banging, a lot of different strategy here late in the race. You're able to navigate your way around Underwood and Ryan Rose, and then you're trying to hunt down Dylan Carrier, and obviously just run out of time there and just could not catch him. But you come home with a solid second-place run, nonetheless, here at Auto Club Speedway.
Yeah, man, it was fun. I will say, man, it's just frustrating the lack of respect with some of these guys. It's just kind of sad, to be honest with you. I'm not the one that usually harps on that stuff. I mean, there's just way too many cautions tonight. And I get it's the car does it with the sucking up and then this track and blah blah blah. It's just no like race etiquette whatsoever. But getting dumped, by I don't even know what the 119 or whatever. I don't even know his name. You going on his outside and he just cuts across my nose and we caused the big wreck. So it's frustrating when you qualify good just to get dumped and then you have to go through the field again. I think we did it like 3 times tonight, but yeah, it's unfortunate. I thought we had that one in the bag, to be honest with you. I think Dylan took 2 tires and was able to save some gas and was able to win it. I think if we had like another couple of laps, I think we definitely would have had that one in the bag. But Man, well, it was fun there at the end of the race, though. I can't lie, but we were close.
Yeah, definitely close and definitely looked like a lot of fun out there, man. Obviously cutting through traffic and trying to slide around guys and everything else and navigate your way up here into the booth once again. But Jordan, man, a hell of a drive, hell of a performance, and I get to look forward to going and doing some more sliding there at Knoxville Raceway next Saturday night, man. Going to the dirt track. How you feel about headed back to the dirt here this season?
Oh, brother, I hate dirt. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate it with a passion. So the fact that that's number 3 on the schedule is pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, we'll just go there and just do whatever we can do, to be honest with you, and hopefully not be in the way. I love watching dirt, and it takes a lot of skill, and I like to think I'm pretty decent at this stuff, but for whatever reason, dirt is just not my thing. I'm not gonna lie. So we'll go there and just we'll see what happens, but I definitely don't expect to get a W, so we'll see. But thankfully, we got quite a bit of stage points tonight and finishing second, so that should help. But yeah, not expecting a dirt race, number 3 in the season.
Well, if it's anything like tonight, man, all you gotta do is just keep yourself clean and out of trouble. And there may be a lot of cars that don't finish the race, as definitely saw a lot of issues here this evening. We could definitely see a lot of issues next Saturday as well, and we could potentially see another win for Dylan Carrier. He's got that real life dirt experience, so he may be able to make it 4 in a row.
Yeah, how about that, man? Give the kid props. We all give him a lot of hell in the league, just messing with him. He's a good guy, and I'm proud of him. He could be sitting here with like damn near 5 wins out of the last like 8 races in this whole league. So you gotta give the kid props. I mean, he's really he's always been good at this stuff, but he's really turned it on here. I mean, I gotta give him all props in the world, and that was one hell of a strategy he pulled tonight. I mean, he was leading up a lot of laps before that, so I don't care what anybody says. It wasn't a lucky win, but he definitely earned it, and how about that though? To go from like leading most of the race and have the balls to, call that strategy. Like you got to tip the hat a little bit, right? So, props to him. And yeah, it was a fun race.
Absolutely, a lot of fun, a lot of great racing, man. Jordan, who would you like to thank though for a solid second place finish here this evening?
I want to shout out my team. We got a few new members, so I want to shout out them and thank you for putting on the show. Broadcasting, and thanks to Josh and Brian for putting on the league and everybody that came out tonight. I know at the start of this interview I was a little frustrated, but it's I definitely appreciate all the new guys coming out and everybody that returned, and we have definitely a good group of guys. It's just you get a bunch of new drivers with a new car. It's kind of a recipe for disaster. So hopefully we can figure it out. But I definitely don't think dirt being number 3 in the schedule was a good idea. But hey, you never know. That might be our cleanest race of the year. So we'll see what happens. But shout out to everybody, and just thank you to everybody who came out and watched it on YouTube.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Jordan, hell of a show, hell of a race here this evening, brother, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack and what you can do there at Knoxville, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully, maybe by luck, maybe we'll get you back up here in the booth next Saturday night.
Don't expect it, but I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the night.
You too, buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, the 24, Jordan Hand. As Hand comes home in position number 2, we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher. It's Caden Gargiulo. Caden comes home in position number 3. Let's get him up here into the booth. Hey, Caden, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Caden, man, solid run, solid try for you here this evening as you park that 7 ride up on the podium, brother. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as the dust settles here at Auto Club Speedway.
I think the smartest decision I ever made was starting in the back. I've noticed a pattern of every time I qualify, something happens. So started the race in the back. Just kind of worked my way through the field. Didn't get any stage points in the first stage because of a incident that happened. Kind of put me back. Got some in the second stage and just kind of held it. I was with the Redemption guys again this week, talking strategy and all that, and we all kind of pitted right around the same time, and it just worked out.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly here for you. Obviously pitting a little bit later than a lot of these guys in front of you, and then just being able to come through some of that traffic, make the right moves at the right time, and you slide around Brian Underwood late in the race and up here into third for a pretty solid points day for yourself in that 7 machine.
Yeah, after the P2 last week at Daytona, which again that never happens, so I was happy with that. I wasn't expecting a P3 out of this. I was just hoping for like a top 10 probably, and it worked out. The tires right at the end, like you were saying, they helped a lot. Getting those last couple passes right at the end of that race.
Yeah, absolutely helped out quite a bit there, making those moves and putting yourself back up onto the podium for back-to-back races here. Obviously, Carrier with the back-to-back wins here for the points races in Mount 3 in a row. But for you, a pretty hot start as well, man. Back-to-back podiums for you and feeling pretty good early on in the season. What do you got to look forward to, obviously, as we go to next week at Knoxville Raceway? How are you feeling about going to the dirt track side of things next Saturday night?
I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of dirt in these cars. I've ran it before, and I'll run it, but not sure how enjoyable it'll be. Hopefully, everybody does some practice because we're going to be sliding around, and some cars are definitely going to end up in the hauler early. I just kind of have to hope that I'm not one of them going to the end of that race next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to make sure you can just finish that race may be the goal for everybody. May be the game plan, really, to try to start a little deeper in the field or fall back if you start towards the front, fall to the rear, and just allow some of the carnage to unfold in front of you and keep yourself clean and out of any major catastrophic failures here next Saturday night. But it's going to be a great show. Going to be a lot of fun. That's my bread and butter, going back to the dirt track. So as much as you guys don't have too much fun on it, I have a lot of fun up in the booth watching you guys roll out there on the dirt, especially watching the pavement guys come to the dirt side of things and try their hand at it. It's not very easy, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see how you guys handle it there next Saturday.
Oh yeah, mad respect for everybody who runs dirt, man. I've tried. Mad respect.
Absolutely, man. Well, Caden, a heck of a run here this evening, and another podium run for you, man. Who would you like to thank for another great finish here this evening?
Yeah, same as last week. Team Watson Racing setups and Golden Guardian Autosport or GGA. Those guys again support so much and have helped me, get better and learn how to do all the things I do. And of course, thanks to Redemption guys once again for helping with strategy. Definitely wouldn't be where I'm at already in this season with 2 podiums, 3rd place in the standings after this race without those guys.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, hopefully it continues working for you, and hopefully we see him back up here more and more throughout this season, and maybe one of these nights up and in victory lane as well. Caden, congrats on the 3rd place run, and hopefully we see you back up here maybe next Saturday. Maybe you surprise yourself and put yourself up on the podium again next week.
Hopefully.
Beauty. Enjoy the rest of your night, brother.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, Caden Gargiulo, as Caden comes home in position number 3 here this evening, man. Heck of a run, heck of a show by each and every one of these drivers. We can't thank you guys enough, though. All the fans in the stands for tuning in and showing the love here throughout the evening. All the likes, the comments, the shares, any of the new followers or subscribers. We can't thank you guys enough here this evening, coming in and showing the love all day long. And if you guys haven't already, it's not too late. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button on the stream right now. Hit that gosh heckin' subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family here this evening. And turn those notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go green flag racing here this evening. As Mr. Holler says, somehow finish 7th after Connolly and I couldn't stop getting into each other. Oh, we know. We watched, Holler. We watched you guys duke it out there. Says, should have finished higher. This is one of my best tracks. You definitely had a good run going there, man. A couple times stay up inside the top 5, having a solid day out there on the Speedway, but says, I will take it. Thanks for another good stream. Peace. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, sir, you will see me tomorrow. Says also top 10 for Brian and Wyatt. Top 10 for the whole team. Let's go. That's what's up right there. Top 10s for the whole team here this evening, man. That's absolutely amazing. But, man, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we cannot thank you guys enough, though, for tuning in, showing the love here this evening, and we will hopefully catch you guys all back in here in the broadcast booth and up in the grandstands tomorrow evening So we'll be going back to Green Flag Racing tomorrow night. A lot of these same drivers, man. There's a ton of cats that are in this race here this evening that will be racing again tomorrow night on Sunday afternoon with our wheel-to-wheel racing league. So pretty much back-to-back nights to get to see a lot of these same drivers battling out there on the Speedway, and hopefully we'll see you guys back out there in the grandstands and cheering them on tomorrow evening. But listen, can't thank you all enough once again for tuning in, showing the love, showing the support here this evening. We'll check y'all back here in tomorrow night. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see y'all later. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
Strapped in tight, ready, V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet, sipping victory, toasted champ, champagne spray. Fast lane, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound, seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, eyes are fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell.